As I'm rising, I expect some things to happen. If someone looks at you and says you came to this office 4 years and they have made you an executive director over my dead body, you don't go around and start panicking. It's a proof of lack of thorough training. If you learned and you were built by God, you should already expect that this would happen, and you should already have the plan to deal with it. Are we together? There are people who had a greater sense of peace being poor than they were when they had money. Nobody disturbed you, nobody lied to you, nobody did anything. And then you're praying and say, Father, before the end of 2022, I must have my first 100 million. I must have my first 1 billion. And as you are saying it, I'm sure the angels are just watching and saying, goodness. Do you really know what it takes to sit down on 100 million, 1 billion of your money and be in Christ? Listen again in your mind to everything I said, and be. Because you see, for a 1 billion naira holder, let's use naira, 1 billion naira holder, there are certain relationships you must maintain that are not godly. Did you hear what I said? There are certain relationships you must maintain at that level of influence that are not godly. You have to master the dynamics of living as a sheep among wolves. There are hear me, let me tell you this. Even as a man of God rising in influence, you will be amazed at the proposals that will come around the world. I submit to you, I'm talking to leaders. You cannot imagine the groups and the associations and the proposals that people have brought. Apostle, there is this committee of so across Africa. There is this one, they are a group of global this and that and that. And with all sense of joy, I'm not stupid, I'm intelligent enough to know what is demonic. You cannot imagine the things I have rejected in my life as a price for remaining true with God. Now, this is not the part of many people's stories that you will hear. You just know that they are walking with God and God is lifting them. Let me tell you, there are times in your rising where loving God looks like foolishness. Because the amount of things you will lose, you will need to check and say, what else do I have? What else do I have left? Something more than gold. I've got something more than gold. Something more than gold. I've got something more than gold. If all I have is Jesus, I've got something more than gold. I will tell it to the world, Jesus is more than gold. See, one of the deception of greatness is the presence of many material things. Material things have such jealousy, they will fight your loyalty for God. Let that car arrive and you will see how much your heart was connected to it. The moment the tire bursts, you can't even pray until they fix the tire of that car. Remember, you rolled around when you were just taking a cab and say, Lord, everything to you. By the time you build a business and you hear that the stocks of your company are about to crash and God says go and fast for 5 days, you will lie down and say, Lord, so is this how my company is going to go down? That is the reason why God tells you to eat, for the journey is far. When he's subjecting you to fasting and prayer, listen, you don't know what it means to train 6 children or 5 children. You may not have the time to fast for 21 days again. So before the marriage comes, he makes you to fast as if, and you don't, God, what are you doing to me? You are building stamina and energy for the days that are coming. God, by this teaching this morning, is giving someone a definition as to what has been happening to you. God, I'm not seeing any result, but you will say fast. Just when I'm done, you give me 2 weeks break, you say start another one. Why is that so? Because you will be so busy. You will be so busy. You will have to lean on your the prayer bank that you have built for years, the word bank you have built for years. Hear what the Spirit of God is telling you. You're not listening to a lecture. Yes, sir. There are some of you, because of the kind of wealth that God is going to be committing to you, the nature of your training will almost frustrate you. You will find out that you are wealthy, you are earning a salary of 200,000, and God can say sow everything. You know why? Because compared to what is coming in the future, what you are saving is nonsense. God is using what you have to keep training you. Lord, what is this now? You told me to sow 200,000, and then my arrears just came. You are saying sow it again. It does not make sense. It will make sense when $1 billion come. That training will make sense when you become a captain over conglomerates, and God will say sow for this mission field. You have been trained already. Listen.